Obsessed with sounds on the track.
2025 gaming goals. Let's speak on it. Welcome back to the channel. This is OWS the King. And this video, I want to talk about my 2025 gaming goals that I have, little achievements that I want to do, little goals that I want to hit in 2025. This will be the first time I actually would do something this different. I'm trying to take my love for gaming and this channel and, building a solid group of like-minded people and bring that all together in this gaming channel. What would be better than to make myself some goals for this 2025 as a gamer? Now, do you have gaming goals for 2025? Put it in the comment section. Let me know your ideas, your goals, things that you want to achieve throughout this year as a gamer. Again, I'm Lord OWS the King, and let's get started. So I got a few bullet points. Really want to go through like 6 different things that I want to do, so I'm not going to make this a long video. So I want to make 5 goals for myself, and actually will add on a bonus goal to equal that out to 6 goals for this year. And let's talk about it. So I got some bullet points. Let's see, we'll go to the first one. So my number 1 goal this year in 2025 is to play more retro. So in 2024, I played less retro games in my collection, in my digital collection. I also have emulation storage. Really didn't mess around with the retro very much last year. I was really getting into more of the modern era, the 5 and 6 generation, possibly more of the about 5th gen all the way up. I think the year before 2023, I spent even lesser time, honestly, playing retro. So I've taken a couple of years off playing old retro games. Last year in 2024, I only played 2 retro games. I beat them both. One game was Mario Land for the Game Boy, and I'm thinking, if I can remember, it was at the beginning of the year. I played Shatterhand. Okay, so it was 3 because I played Mercs, which was one of my honorable mention games from 2024. So I bought a total of 3 retro games. I'm not really nostalgic for games in the 3rd and 4th generation. Honestly, being from the 80s, that might, be a surprise to a lot of people. But I do have my favorites on the NES, like your Tecmo Bowls, your Arch Rivals, your Mario 3, Castlevania. I mean, we always had an NES. I actually grew up as a Sega Master System kid. That was one of the first consoles I had. My father owned the Sega Master System, so I grew up as a Sega Master System kid, so I didn't get an NES until maybe later down the line. And like I said, I have my favorites, like Manhattan Project. That's probably one of my favorite NES games, hands down. Anything with Ninja Turtles in it, the Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. The first Ninja Turtles was kind of ass. So I don't know if it was an age thing, like growing up, like I was way younger when those games came out, so I didn't have the appreciation as I did compared to, fast forwarding a few years later, and I got into, the Genesis. I was a Genesis kid. My sister, she had a Super Nintendo, so we had both consoles in the house. But yeah, just not nostalgic for that era of games. Like, it's weird. I can put a certain game on and I can remember and I can think like Tecmo Bowl and Super Tecmo Bowl, because those games was always around in our house, or I had cousins that played those games. So, but when it came to me as a gamer and me really getting my foot and getting a passion to certain games, it came a little bit afterwards. It was around the Genesis and Super Nintendo, and then hitting up further to like the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation, which that's when I really got into gaming. I always felt like old school NES games didn't have like that story, that thing that gripped me like it does in some modern games now, and games like further back in the day, PS2 era. So I would like to actually go back and try out a lot of those games, like Link to the Past. I have not played a Link, a Zelda game. I would like to go back to trying those out. Played the first Metroid, but I like to go back to I'm pretty sure I didn't beat it. So I mean, I got a small hit list of retro games that I would love to play. Trying to up my counter on games that I beat this year, and what else would be better than to knock out a lot of those NES games. Some of those games run from 1 to 2 hours, if less than that, to get through them. So some of them you can get through in the breeze, but they are challenging. The challenging part is not the problem if it's fun. And that goes with any game with me. As long as it's, worth a damn, I'll try it out. So, really excited to try out a lot of the retro games and adding that to a goal in 2025. So my next goal for 2025 would be to play more RPGs. So my next goal is actually something that I kind of steered away from this past year due to time restrictions, and games that I was already playing had a lot of hours to put into them. I just felt like it was other games that, that was more important that I wanted to try out. But I have a bunch of these games, and I really want to get in a deep dive into a few of these, and that's to play more RPGs this year. So in 2020, I played quite a few of the Yakuza series games, like Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1 and 2. I would love to get back to those games. The action RPG genre is my favorite. I can't do turn-based. I don't want no part of turn-based at all. I think, sitting there, let me hit you, then I wait for a few minutes, and then you hit me, you wait a couple of seconds, and then I hit you, and we're waiting. I get my lick back type shit. I don't find that enjoyable at all. I don't see the whole point in it. People have their flavors, and that's fine. I think the last time I ever played a turn-based game was Final Fantasy VII, and what kept me playing that was the story itself. I don't have to tell anybody about Final Fantasy VII. The story is top tier. But yeah, my issue has always been that RPGs are very, very time consuming. Most of them running like 30 hours, maybe 40 hours. depending on, are you trying to complete it or whatnot, or, a lot of them are very grindy. A lot of RPGs demand you to, to focus on that game for hours on end, and you really have to set some time away to get a deep dive into these type of games. Most of them have great stories, which I'm all for. I love a great story, and it's a lot of games that's been talked about, and it's a lot of games that I own that's been reviewed very well, but I just never. I'll pull one off the shelves and call myself trying it out, and I just I think about that runtime, and I'm like, do I really want to get into this right now? And it's all excuses, because I've put in 30 hours plus in games like Horizon Zero Dawn, and I put in 20 hours in Resident Evil 4, and I put in hours in these type of chunk of hours into other games. So it's really, you can't really make the excuse of you don't want to try this RPG because of it demands your time. If you're a gamer and you're playing certain games and stuff, all of this is time consuming. Even a certain game, like take sports for instance. You're playing a season. Say like you're playing a basketball season. Say that you're playing a season in 2K, and what is that, like 82 games? If you're adding up, depending on the time that you put in the quarters in, like that's playing a whole season is the length of an RPG, maybe even more. Because are you playing like 4 or 5 different games on your season, every day? You're actually, that's probably running more time than your regular standard RPG. So it's really no excuse. It's just it's an excuse that you kind of tell yourself that, oh, this is just going to take forever, because you just already got that in your head, whether it's from somebody else saying it or you putting in that type of time in an RPG from the past. Some people can play RPGs and that's all they play. They can go to one after the other. But I have a few that I want to get to. First, Visions of Mana. I just bought that game maybe about a month or so ago. That game looks fucking beautiful, and I like the Mana games, so I really want to give that one a try, and hopefully I'll find some pattern to get an RPG in, get a role-playing game in, and also play game B and C. Play this role-playing game for a couple of hours, and then go to a first-person shooter or a EA big game, or something that's in my the backlog that I'm trying to get through. So seriously, what is the difference between putting double digits hours in a game like Horizon Zero Dawn compared to like a Visions of Mana? Like it's really no different. So like I said, it's just basically all excuses. If I really want to play these role-playing games that I've heard that's pretty dope, I need to just make the time for it. And given the fact that with the back and forth dialogue, the side missions and stuff like that, isn't Horizon Zero Dawn considered RPG? So maybe I'll start with playing like one RPG per month, so I don't get burned out on it. And also I can look into some more of the RPGs that's on the shorter side, because they can't all be like 30 hours. So I think that's when How Long to Beat will will come into play. And I can look up some of these RPGs and see which one's shorter than the other, and kind of tackle like one of the shorter ones. And then as the year goes, you know, get into some of the higher ones, because I got I got Final Fantasy Rebirth that I have not opened yet, and I heard that one's a fucking doozy. So we'll be getting into those very shortly. That's definitely a goal that I want to hit this year. So number 3 goal for 2025 is to collect less and play more. So I'm a gamer first and a collector second. But in 2024, I purchased 47 physical games. 3 was gifted to me, and I bought 12 digital games. So about 62 games I had total added to my collection. So as I said on these videos prior, every game that I own, I want to play it. Even the rare titles that's sealed. My plan is to lessen the games I buy to 2 to 3 titles a month, which is kind of a hard one because it's a lot of great titles that's coming out this year. But normally I'll wait, especially when it comes to like modern games, depending on what it is, because I automatically in my brain assume that, you know, these games are going to be pretty buggy. I hardly, depending on the game. I know I did it with College 25. When I get them day one, I don't play them day one. You know, sometimes I'll wait till they get patched the fuck up, and sometimes they'll sit for months, depending on the games. Which I'll be getting into this here in a little bit. That it's a lot of games that I'll put it on the back burner for years, and then you get this thing like Cyberpunk. I had Cyberpunk for forever, and I still haven't played Cyberpunk. But they just recently, was it in 2024 or in the beginning of 2024 or in 2023, they just, you know, got it to the point where it wasn't a fucking hot mess to play. You know, now it runs good, and and everybody says it's a damn good fucking game. So depending on what it is, I do purchase quite a bit. I pre-order quite a few things, but I do let a lot of games sit. So that tells me that I got I got too many games that, you know, already that I own that I have to get to before I even get to anything that just recently came out. It'll be very seldom that I'll get to a certain game that comes from that year. I'm thinking of like Tekken 8. I'm thinking Astro Bot, you know, things like that. When Resident Evil 4 remake came out, I played that day one, but I never had any issues with that game. So it varies. But if I have games that goes all the way back to the PlayStation 1 that I've never touched before, I need to get through those first. I need to get through those before I buy anything else. So we're looking at 1,400 plus video games that I own physically, and it's counting because I bought fuck me, I sound like a fucking walking contradiction. Sales, man, fucking sales. Yeah, I'll look up VGP, I'll look in PNP, those two places. I'm always on the indie websites, Super Rare. They always, you know, they'll have good sales. Fucking Best Buy. It all depends and stuff. Amazon. So I'm always looking for a good sale for, you know, games that I'll just kind of wait on. And, you know, I'll just pull the trigger. Well, I need to stop fucking pulling the goddamn trigger, because it's a lot of games that I know I'm just not going to touch right then and there. So, well, if I stop buying games right at this fucking moment, and I don't know how fucking long I'll be, blessed to be on this earth, with my people. I probably can't get through all these fucking games. So why in the fuck would I, have to buy anymore, So it's a kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because, I told myself this when I was writing down these goals the other day, and fuck me, we get Ninja Gaiden Black 2 comes out on Game Pass. I don't own Game Pass anymore. I got rid of Game Pass so I can focus on my physical games. I got rid of it. And they have a PlayStation 5 port coming physically in March. And they got pre-orders. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't know. It's like, man, so I'm gonna have to be very tactical with the games that I buy, but hopefully, once I write them down and I, look at the prices and stuff, because that's another thing too. I'm gonna keep track of, how much money I spent on video games this year, and kind of go into the receipts of last year and see if it evens out. I know it won't. Oh, well, I can't predict the future and stuff because I do have a fucking problem. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man, you can't beat some of them sales sometimes, man. So we'll see. Number 4 goal. So goal number 4, cleaning out my heavy hitters. This goes back to the conversation about the collect less and play more, because there's a lot of games that's been out for years that that's well known, that's talked about in gaming circles, and I have not touched, I have not played, and it's damn near a travesty. I'm thinking about last year playing Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time and being so pissed off with myself because I wasn't there to experience that years prior. Great fucking game, and I've just played it last year, and I have games like that now that I've just never touched. I'm thinking of, As Dusk Falls, Sekiro, Dragon Age, Days Gone, Alan Wake Remaster. I played the original Alan Wake. The Infamous franchise. I've never played any Infamous game. Final Fantasy Rebirth. I would love to play Horizon Forbidden West. Now that I've played Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, I'm so excited to get to that game. I've never, ever played, and this is fucking blasphemous, I've never fucking played Ghost of Tsushima. I've never played it, and I've owned that game for about a year on PlayStation 5. I need my fucking ass whooped. My plan is to get to these heavy hitters and knock out quite a few of them. Never played Control before. Just got through that a couple of days ago. We'll talk about that in a video here coming up in the next couple of days. Never played Control, just got done with it. Great game. And then I have games in my my collection that's not so modern, like Dark Cloud. I've never played Dark Cloud 1. I never played Dark Cloud 2. I have some of the Super Paper Mario games. Beautiful Joe 2. These are games that I've never touched, that I own in my collection, that I would love to get through this year. And my goal is to hit a lot of these by the end of 2025. I think I can make a whole year alone with the games that I brought up, and that would be a stellar year. That would make 2025 a great year in games. I wouldn't have to touch, another game that's, coming out in the near future if I would just, play those. So my plan is to really get into get into those games and knock some of those out. I really feel like I'm missing out, and it's not even the FOMO type thing. It's just games that I've had in my collection for so long, and I always pass it off to play something else or go back to a certain game. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Why are you trying to avoid this? It's so weird how we treat our backlog. And so I would love to clean a lot of these games up and experience them and put my thoughts out there. Bayonetta 2 is also another one that I would like to get to. I actually played Bayonetta 3 about a year or so ago. So yeah, that's a goal. That was goal number 4, was it? Yeah. So number 5 is, so kind of run through these last 2 pretty fast. Number 5 goal is work on times playing. So with my job, I'm on the road a lot. And even though majority of my days I get to come back home at night, I have like other areas of things that I need to do. I have a wife, I have kids, I have responsibilities. Prior to, Christmas, I was going to the gym. I went to the gym a whole year straight, bro. So I was managing time, but I was trying to slide a lot of things into the free time that I had. And I have a shit ton of hobbies that don't always involve video games. I make music, I make beats. That's mostly a hobby now than it was like back in the day. I love to cook. My wife bought me a smoker maybe about 6 months ago, and I use that fucking thing all the time. Sundays is for smoking. It's smoke sessions up at the fucking house, man. So that's what we do. So sometimes when I get to get down on focusing on the game and stuff, I do it at the worst times. Like I'll start something up and then I have to like go somewhere, or I'll start something in the middle of the night. Then I gotta get laid down because I gotta go into work earlier than normal. So that kind of fucks with that. So at my age, sacrificing sleep ain't the move. But I do feel like if I'm gonna be up in the middle of the night, I might as well play a certain game. Now my area is split. Picture my Xbox Series X, my PlayStation 5, one of my OG Xbox, and my Xbox 360 is downstairs in my house, and my Switch, another Xbox 360, my Wii U where I play Wii and Wii U games, my Xbox One, I run my emulation storage on my computer. Those things are in another room upstairs. So we kind of move around with certain things and stuff like that, having a big family. So kind of got to share certain TVs. Of course, everybody's my big TV that's downstairs that has, that the 4K, the 8K TV is usually the one that everybody gravitates to. So, of course, you're ass out of luck because everybody wants to fucking use that TV. The kids have their own TVs. Doesn't matter. They want to watch your fucking TV. So when it comes to my PlayStation 5 sessions, my Xbox One, my Xbox Series S, Series X sessions, they usually come when nobody's in the house. So I gotta kind of try to finagle work and parenting time and responsibilities and everything else and shit into whatever little bit of gaming it is. And if you're a man in a relationship and you turn that fucking game on and stuff, no matter what, you're gonna get that look when you're in the area with everybody else and stuff. You're gonna get that look like, are you fucking serious? You turning that fucking game on right now? And so this is the shit that I deal with on on a regular fucking basis, and it fucking sucks. So I kind of gotta, work around that and make the time for it. So that'd be my number 5 goal, is to work on the times playing games. When I do get those sessions and stuff like that, stay the fuck away from my phone. I have a tendency, as a lot of people, to doom scroll, and I've been trying to steer away from that shit because fucking social media is a cesspool. It's a lot of I think I watch more YouTube more than anything, but it's that's becoming a fucking fuckhole for majority of YouTubers. I get these choices of YouTubers to watch, and it's just the most insufferable shit all the time, bitching about this and that. And so I kind of just stick to my 4, 5, 6 different YouTubers. Unnecessary Rambling is one that I love. They have a lot of long video content and stuff, so I could pop that on and just listen to while I'm doing something else, or I'm checking those guys out. Your Radical Reggies and things like that. Off the top of my head, I can't think of in particular certain YouTuber and stuff, but it's a lot of YouTubers like Gaming on the Grid. Those guys are dope. I like to watch Megadan playthroughs. He does a lot of live stream gaming, Captain Algebra, people like that and shit. So I'm seeing all these guys playing their games and enjoying themselves and shit like that. So it's like, well, you got to make the time to do this stuff yourself too. And now we got my channel going, and I'm trying to make something out of that, whether it's it gets big or it does nothing in the next year or so. Who fucking knows? But I'm having a good time doing it. I'm having a good time talking about certain games. So it's kind of motivating me to make time to play a lot of games more than I used to. So yeah, that's another goal for me, and most likely I can manage my time better, and hopefully I will come back to some of this stuff in like 6 months and see how well we're going with it. And then by the end of the year, see if anything changed out of these goals. Have I lived up to what I said? Am I a man of my word? Let's fucking see. So my next bonus goal is just out of pure vanity. It's not a big deal if I get it or not, but it's my trophy and achievement. I would like to up my trophy and achievements quite a bit this year. So as of today, my achievements number is 29,896. I want to bump that up to okay, hold up. I want to bump that up to 39,896. So that's 10,000 extra points. I want to achievement points I want to get this year. So we'll see. My trophies, I have a total of 1,745 trophies. I want to bump that up to 2,345. That's 600 trophies in this year. I actually made that higher, but I was thinking about it and being like realistic with myself. I'm like, you fucking no, ain't no fucking way, bro. Ain't no way. It's 600 is a stretch and shit like that. That shit ain't easy. Yeah, that's pretty easy for the trophy hunters and the ones that like the 100% everything and shit, but I just don't have that thrill. I might have to cheese doing this shit, like buy some fucking those little like mobile games that, you know, they have sometimes that's cost like maybe $2 or whatever, and you can platinum that shit, you know, within like 5 seconds or whatever, or get like a 100 score or things like that. You know, hey, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but you know, I would like to, you know, see that counter go up by the end of the year. And I don't know, Lord willing, then I can do that. But maybe, you know, that kind of shows me that, yeah, I actually played some games this year. So we'll see. And all this shit is going to be documented. I write shit down all the time. I take pictures. And now that, you know, I'm doing this YouTube thing, that it may be every month I'll go and do like a ranking on games that I played and beat. And that will keep me focused on these goals by doing that. So it all can be connected. And like I said, it's throughout the year. It's if I don't achieve all these, I guess so be it. But it is a goal. Sometimes goals are made to be broken, but the collect more and play less is the number one. Like, especially who the fuck knows what the future holds with any fucking thing nowadays. So playing more and collecting less is more money in my fucking pocket, and that's never going to be a bad thing. So yeah. So those are my goals. Feel pretty good. So what's your goals in 2025? Let's talk about it. You know, whether they gaming goals or anything else and stuff. Are you out there, you know, trying to lose as much weight as possible? Are you giving up smoking? Are you giving up drinking? You know, are you beating your meat less or something like that? What are you doing this year that's gonna, you know, put you, you know, at the top in 2026, and you can look back and you say, you know, yeah, I did that shit. So, all right, thanks for checking me out. I'm OWS the King. We got more videos coming. I'm all invested into this channel. It's fun. I'm liking it. Thanks for checking me out. Appreciate it.